Good evening. It is Thursday, October 20th, 2022, 8:31, and this is the Awake in the North book club. We are reading Poetic Edda, and tonight we are reading Völuspá and Skamma. Do we have any volunteers to read our introduction into the story for the night? If not, I'll go ahead and read it, and then we can just start rotating.
I'll take it. Okay. Völuspá and Skamma, a short prophecy of Ragnarok. Völuspá and Skamma, literally the short Völuspá, the name given to parts of this poem quoted in the Prose Edda, is another mythological poem from outside the Codex Regius. It appeared in its entirety in the manuscript Flateyjarbók, which is identified as Hyndlop, Song of Hyndla. In it, the dead witch Hyndla tells the goddess Freya and the human warrior named Otar of Otar's ancestry, eventually tracing him back to the gods and telling a little about the gods and their fates. It is usually believed that the stanzas dealing with the gods, stanzas 30 to 50, were originally a separate poem, the Völuspá and Skamma proper, and that the first 29 stanzas dealing with Otar's ancestry were only added to it by a later editor. Whether originally a single poem or not, the poem appears to have been composed fairly late.
Völuspá and Skamma. Freya said, "Wake up, lady, wake up. Friend, wake up, sister. Hyndla, you cave dweller, the night is dark. We will ride to Valhalla, to the holy hall."
We'll ask Odin to keep us in mind. He gives gold to those who are worthy. He gave Hermoth a helmet and armor. He gave Sigmund a sword as a gift.
He gives victory to some, money to others, eloquence to many, and common sense to all. He gives waves to the sea, word skill to poets. He gives many that happiness of love.
I will sacrifice to Thor and ask him to support you always, and look on you with a smile, no matter how much he hates other giant women.
Now take a wolf out of your stable. Let him walk alongside my hog. Hyndla said, "I doubt the hog will walk the god's road. I don't want to saddle my swift wolf."
You lie, Freya. You want to tempt me, but your eyes tell me everything. Your lover, young Otar, son of Instin, follows on the road of the dead.
Freya said, "You're being foolish. You're dreaming, Hyndla. If you think my lover follows me on the road of the dead, where the hog Gulumbusti glows, that battle swine which two crafty dwarfs, Dane and Nabi, made for me."
I'll step out of the saddle, we'll sit together and speak together about great families, about the good men descended from the gods.
They have dared much, young otter, and Engantry to take the gold of Valand. A young man needs good counsel if he wants to get his inheritance from his kin.
Otar made me an altar of stone, and the stones of that temple glisten like glass, reddened with fresh blood from sacrificed oxen. Otar believed faithfully in the goddesses.
Now you must name noble men and all the best human families. Who are the Sjordungs? Who are the Skelfings? Who are the Alflings? Who are the Ilflings? Who are the best prince's sons, the best chieftain's sons, and the best of all men in all of Midgard?
Hindla said, "You, Otar, are Instein's son, and Instein was the son of Alf the Old. Alf was Ulf's son. Ulf was Sefari's. Sefari was the son of Sven the Red."
Your father's mother was beautifully bejeweled. She must have been the priestess of Hilethi. Her father was Vrothi. Her mother was Frialt. That whole family was well born.
In olden days, Ali was the best man, and before him, Hefton was chief of the Skoljongs. Those princes are remembered for their killings, and Ali's accomplishments are known around the world.
He was the in-law of Aymund, a great hero. He killed Siftric with a cold sword blade. He married Omvik, best of women, and together they raised 18 sons.
From them come the Skjoldungs, the Skelfings, the Alflings, the Inglings, the best prince's sons, the best chieftain's sons, the best of all men in all of Midgard. And this is your family, foolish Otar.
Hildegun was her mother, the daughter of Svava, and a sea king, and this is your family, foolish Otar. It would profit you to know it. Do you want to know still more?
Dag married Thora, mother of warriors. They were great men born in that line. Hrothmar and Gith, both Drakars, and Yosurmar and Alf the Old. It would profit you to know it. Do you want to know still more?
Ketil was their friend. He was heir to Clype. He was the grandfather of your mother. Frothi was born before Kara, but Elf was born earliest.
Then Nana, who was Nokvi's daughter, her son was the in-law of your father. These are old relatives, but I can speak still more. I knew Broad and Porterfee also. This is your family, foolish Otar.
Isolf and Esolf, sons of Almuth, and his wife Skarhild, who was Skekel's daughter. You are related to many great men. This is your family, foolish Otar.
Gunnar the Steadfast, Grim the Plowsmith, Thori Ironshield, Ulf the Howler.
Bui and Brami, Bari and Refnir, Tind and Tirfing. The two Haddings, this is your family, foolish Otar.
Ani and Omi, Arngrim's sons, were born to Eifura. The noise of all kinds of evil caused by those berserkers went out over the land and sea like a wildfire. This is your family, foolish Otter.
I knew both Broad and Forky, brave companions of Rolf the Old. Those families are descended from Ormonric, Sigurd's in-law, and Sigurd was the prince who killed Fafnir. Listen to my story.
The prince Sigurd, who was a descendant of Volsung, his mother Hjördis was descended from Hrathong, and her father Elimi. From the Othings, this is your family, foolish Otar.
Gunnar and Hogni were the sons of Giuki, and Guthrun was their sister. Gothorm was not the son of Giuki, but his mother was the same as Gunnar's and Hogni. This is your family, foolish Otar.
Harold Wartooth was son of Hjorek, the hater of riches. Hjorek was the son of Alf, and Alf the Wise was the daughter of Ivar. Rathbarth was the father of Randver. Those men were blessed by the gods. This is your family, foolish Otar.
There were 11 of the gods. After doomed Baldar fell, Bali then carved vengeance, and so he killed the killer of his brother. This is your family, foolish Otar.
Balder's father was Odin, heir of Bur, and Frey married Girth, who was the daughter of Gymir, a man of giant family, married to Orbotha. Thiassi was their kinsman, a good archer and a giant, and his daughter was Skadi.
I have told you much, and I remember still more. I suspect that few know all this. Do you want to know more? That right.
Haki was the best son of Havedna by far, and Havedna's father was Hjorvarth. Heis and Hrostjof were the giant Hrimnir's children.
All the witches came from Vithop. All the wizards came from Vilmith. All the warlocks came from Tiarvathi. All the giants from Ymir.
I have told you much, and I remember still more. I suspect that few all know this. Few know all this. Do you want to know more?
There was one born in ancient times, a very powerful son of the family of the gods. He had 9 mothers. Those 9 giant women gave birth to the noble spearmen at the edge of the world.
I have told you much, and I remember still more. I suspect that few know all this. Do you want to know more?
His mothers were Gelp and Grape in Istla, and Yrgjafa, Ulfrun, and Agreya, Imp and Atla in Yarnasaksa.
The earth gave him strength to grow, as did the cold sea and the blood of the boar.
I have told you much, and I remember still more. Certainly, if you know all this, do you want to know more?
Loki fathered Oluf with Angerbotha. He produced Sleipnir with Svithalfari. But there was one child worse than all the others of those born to Baelith's brother Loki.
Loki ate a woman's heart. He found it half burned on a burning linden tree. Loki became pregnant from that dead evil woman, and from their child come all the troll women.
The storm-surged sea heaves up to heaven. It drowns the lands and chokes all the air. Then come snowstorms and sharp winds. Then the time comes near when the gods will fall.
One was born greater than all others. The earth gave him strength to grow. They say that he was boldest of all. He was related to all the classes of men.
But another will come, a god even greater, and I dare not speak his name. Few can see further. Beyond the day when the wolf will swallow Odin.
Said, give a memory drink to Otar, so that 3 days from now he can remember each word of what you said when he and Angantyr reckoned their family trees.
Hurry away from here. I want to sleep. You've learned nothing from me of my own free choice. Leave here in the night like a ewe with your ram.
You run after Odin, you're always lustful, and you've slept with many others. Leave here in the night like a ewe with your ram.
I will strike a fire around you, giant woman. Make it so you cannot leave here unburned, so you can't leave here in the night like an ewe with your ram.
Kindla said, I see a fire kindling. I see the earth burn. But most living things have to endure death. take a beer to Otar, a poison mixed drink for ill health.
Freya said, "Your curse will do no harm, giant woman, no matter what you threaten. He will drink only good drinks. I ask all the gods to help Otar."
Yay! That's the end of our I'm going to say it wrong again, but I'm going to try Völuspá and Skamma. That story was a fun one. There's a lot of back and forth. It reminds me of straight up catty women. Does anybody have any comments, questions, outbursts?
One of the things that strikes me about this one is, if you remember earlier in the Eddas, when Odin was speaking with the Cirrus, the stanzas ended pretty much word for word the same. I know all this. Do you want to know more?
I had that feeling too when I was reading it earlier today. I was reading it by myself and with my tea, and I was like, wow, this really feels like something we've read.
To me, my interpretation of it, the book as a whole, it's not so much a, hey, I know these things, do you want to know more? It's a, hey, I know all these things. Are you sure you want to know more? Turn back now. Kind of thing. I will tell you what I need to tell you. You don't want to know it, but I'm going to mock you with it by showing you that I know more than you.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Right. Are you sure you want to know more? I can tell you all the gory details and all the secrets and all the things. Are you sure you want more?
I always want to know the answers. However, I do have one question I need an answer. Okay, who is Otar? What? They said it's the lover of Freya, but okay, that tells nothing. Who is that?
He is mentioned in here as a couple different things. He is mentioned as Freya's lover. He is mentioned as a brother to somebody earlier on. He was basically a priest of Freya at the time. He was a human. And this book goes through and traces, like I said at the beginning, it traces his lineage back to the gods, showing that while he is mostly Muggle now, his family line comes from a decent place. He has good stock.
So in other words, homework time. There we go.
Yeah.
That makes circle.
He's from good stock. I like how you put it that way, because that's kind of how it reads. Like, here is all of his good information.
In Norse mythology, Otar, also known as Otar the Simple, is a protege of the goddess Freya. He appears in the Hyndajod, the Lay of Hynda, a poetic Edda. In this tale, Otar is said to be very pious to the goddesses. He built a shrine of stones, Hogar, and on it made many offerings to Freya. The goddess answered his prayers and went on a journey to help him find his pedigree. Freya disguised Otar as her boar Hindasvini, the battle swine, and brought him to the Geiger Hindla as Cirrus. Then Freya forced Hindla to tell Otar about his ancestors, as well as to give him a memory potion so that he'd remember all he was told. It's been theorized in the framework of the poem was created in 12th century poet to produce a list of mythical hero names. The poem does not connect much to other poems in the Edda and is often viewed as a semi-historical work. Basically,
What are you reading?
What's that?
I said, what are you reading from?
Notes. Notes that I have. You should see the terabytes of notes I have. Basically, in a nutshell, this is this was written a couple centuries after the Viking era. This was in the 12th century there. And it was a priest who was out and who was very devoted to the goddesses. No matter what was going on, he's always devoted himself to the goddesses. And in a reward for his dedication and devotion, Freya showed up one day and said, "Hey, let's go on vacation." Took him off to travel land and see Osiris, and basically, if you want to think about it an easy way in today's terminology, this poem here is the Norse version of 23andMe.
That's funny. I was totally thinking that. You were in my brain when you were talking. Because I was like, this reminds, I'm hearing a lot of like, basically he was devoted. He was a devoted, underling, and she came and was like, "Hey, by the way, you're not as little as you think you are. You're more than you are," and took him and showed him.
Right.
All of his ancestry. That's really awesome. Especially when you think about our religion and you think about that we do a lot of ancestral work. We work with our ancestors a lot.
Right.
So that's beautiful. Sorry, as you were talking, Beast, I was like, wow, this is really beautiful.
No, by all means. As for who Otar is in any other situation, he's not. This is the story of Otar, and this is the story where Otar appears. This is a story where Otar disappears, and we won't see Otar again.
But what we see is yet again the gods being human and coming and saying, "Hey, by the way, I see what you did. Let me show you what I feel like you need right now."
Right.
I love
This is 15 minutes of fame.
I love it. Thank you. Anybody else got any questions? Narek, we're just wrapping up. Thanks for coming in, friend. We've read Völuspá and Skamma. We are recording as always, so you can catch up with that part once it's uploaded in the next couple days here. But yeah, we're fielding questions right now. We've got our Gothi with us, as usual. If nobody has anything else, we'll say goodbye to Craig here shortly.
I do, but I wanted to see if anybody else did first. You see me take notes every time, and I always do.
I do. We missed you last week.
I know, me and my notes. In stanzas 35 through at least 37, but I know there's more. But okay, through 39. There we go. Are they talking about Otar there, or are they talking about someone else? I feel like they switch topics for a second. Because it says in ancient times, but if he was 12th century, then not sense.
35, there was one born in ancient times, a very powerful son of the family of gods. He had 9 mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that? Who has 9 mothers that we honor and venerate today? That's not Otar.
That we honor what day?
That we honor and venerate today. Who of our gods is said to have had 9 mothers? They were of the sea. The 9 waves of the sea who had their 9 names and gave birth to one boy.
You got it, Heather, or no? I got you if you don't.
We discussed it a few sessions back. There was a discussion of how did Heimdallr have 9 mothers.
My patron right there. It's the only reason I got you.
The story goes that it was the 9 sisters who were the daughters of Aegir and Ran, who one of them got pregnant with an Aesir, and to protect the sister, all 9 sisters disappeared and then came back with a bouncing baby boy, and no one would admit to who actually birthed him. So he had 9 mothers. That way, could not punish one girl for having. In that verse, they're talking about Heimdallr.
Aha. See, I didn't write that one down that time. That's the problem.
That's
I have
it.
to
It's further going into the genealogy of Otar. It's saying that Otar is the much like today you'll find the Brosatru saying that their great whatever great grandpa was Ragnar Lothbrok. Same kind of thing. This is them telling Otar that his great whatever great grandpa was Heimdallr. That's where the back in ancient times comes from. It was a lot of greats.
Right. And in our intro, it says from 30 to 50, they're dealing with the gods. So all the different gods is who they're talking about. Stanzas 30 through 50.
Yep. If you look at 37, his mothers were Gjalt Grape, Isla, Irgjafa, Ufrun, Angrea, Imith, Atla, and Jornsaxa. Those are the names of the 9 waves. Those are the 9 daughters who became the 9 mothers of Heimdallr.
I absolutely love the imagery of the 9 waves.
It's very pretty. I like it too.
Along those lines, if you look at 40 and 41, who is that speaking of, do you think?
Well, the first one is talking obviously about Fenrir. The second one is talking about, I would assume it's talking about hell, as it mentions that it's half burned and all of the other thing, and also the troll woman. But still, I would think hell came from that too because of the half thing. But I know there's also other reasons for that. But things are confusing sometimes.
What stanza did you ask about? I
40.
lost my place.
We're talking 41, page 165.
Oh, okay.
Loki ate a woman's heart. He found it half burned on a burning linden tree. Loki became pregnant from that dead evil woman, and from their child came all the troll women.
I wonder if the burn lady was what's her name? The one that they killed her like 4 or 5 times. We read it in here at one point, and she still came back.
Isn't that Freya? Or was there another witch that did that too?
Was it Freya? I don't remember. It's in here somewhere.
Where's your note?
Freya is associated with Linden Tree.
Okay. It is.
It is believed that since Freya is the goddess of the Linden Tree, you cannot tell a lie under the Linden Tree, because Freya will force the truth out of you. The witch who was burned and killed 3 times back at the beginning. Yeah, okay.
It was in the Völuspá. Ha 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 ha.
Right.
Sorry.
That is not Freya.
No, it's shite. But that just made me think of her because they burned her and it said half burned, and so. And it was also in the Völuspá, and this is the other one, and so connections, but I don't know.
Right.
Or at least she went by Hyde. It also says that they don't know what her actual name was. We had a whole discussion about it.
Golvig was what she's called the most often. Burnt 3 times and 3 times reborn. There is a belief that it could be Freya, but there's nothing actually supporting that it's Freya and not her own individual goddess. So
that was one of the rabbit holes Kiara was going to go down.
Right. However, a lot of people take 41 to be speaking about hell. And that's not a big leap if you go simply on the face of it without actually looking at the words. Part of it is the fact that Hel, as a goddess, was not born from Loki. Hel was not birthed by Loki. Hel was birthed by Angrboda. So that part kind of kicks her out because Loki didn't become pregnant with Hel. And then from the evil dead woman, from their child come all troll women. Hel is not the mother of trolls.
No.
Hel is not attested to having any children of her own, being barren.
Yeah, because
grab
dead.
this and they'll grab just the half burnt, half dead part and immediately glomp it onto Hel, but it's not Hel.
This is true.
We don't know.
And
Who
also,
there's not an answer to it. We don't know who it is. This is the only place that it's mentioned of Loki giving birth to anyone except for Sleipnir.
I know one thing it did make me think of was last Yule I was doing research and stuff, and I was trying to come up with a solution to my stepdaughter wanted to do Elf on the Shelf. I told her the Fae aren't allowed in my house. You can take that to your mom's. But we did the Naughty Nissa is what we did, because that is something I have notes somewhere over there. I'm not going to drag them out right now. But there was that. And they look like the little gnome things. Yep. That you see that are very popular now. But for me, they don't look like gnomes. They look like reverse trolls, which with capitalism and Americanized things and de-paganized things and brought into other things, and all the confusion circles makes me think trolls. And they're called the Nissa, and they steal things. They steal your left shoes, and that's where the socks go, kind of thing. And they do that seems like Loki. So I don't know. My brain does weird things.
Loki is definitely a mischievous god, and that's not to be discounted in any way, shape, or form. But there are other things out there besides Loki who are on their own that have no kindness nor what's the word I'm looking for? No loyalty to Loki. They don't answer to Loki. Loki's not their father or their leader or anything like that. It's not like the Christianized devil and all the demons report back to Satan. Loki's not like that. He doesn't have that much authority in the grander scheme of things. When you think about it, Loki himself was never actually what we consider a god to begin with. He was an honorary god in the pantheon with the Aesir and Vanir after the war because of his blood treaty with Odin. But if you go by genealogy, he was from a different tribe. He was never even part of what we consider to be the gods and goddesses to begin with.
Yes. That's where my brain went.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying that's just where my brain went. I am subject to wrongness. My brain went here.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's all theory anyhow. So don't ever think you're wrong or anything like that. That's fine.
Any more questions about this poem we read tonight, family?
I have one. Stanza 44, it says, "A god even greater, and I dare not speak his name." Is there anywhere else that's referenced as to who that might be?
They're speaking of the end times of Ragnarok and what comes after.
Okay. So that would be like
the very next line that it says, because we can only see so far, or some such.
Yeah, who can see further beyond the day when the wolf will swallow Odin.
Right. The wolf swallowing Odin is Ragnarok. And what comes after, we know that there are a handful of gods that come back after. Baldur's released. Who is it? Baldur comes back. Thor's son sticks around. There's a couple other. There's a couple that aren't even mentioned in the final war, whether they have a part in it or not. For instance, if you look, Hel herself is never mentioned in Ragnarok. Loki leads the armies on the ship of toenail clippings, but Hel is never mentioned one way or another, whether she goes to fight or not. There's lots of different gods and such that are believed by some. It's all speculation because it's not said one way or another. But there are a bunch of different gods that are said to come back after Ragnarok and run things for the new generation.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in one of the sagas or in the Prosetta, even in the passage about Ragnarok, Odin mentions to somebody. I'll have to go get my book to look it up maybe later, and he mentions it too, but I don't think they ever say who that god is. I don't think any of them really know.
Right.
I could be wrong. I'm subject to wrongness.
The way I've taken it is River Song and her spoilers. There's things they know that they won't tell you for your own good.
Word.
Because spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For those who don't catch this Doctor Who reference.
I do. I got it. Which I have a whole other thing with that when Craig's gone because it's not important right now.
Yep. That's all I have. I'll stop talking now. You can turn off, Craig.
You don't have to. I already told you how I feel about it. If nobody has anything left on the Völuspá and Skamma, we will go ahead and say goodbye to Craig for the night. Before we do that, though, let me pull up real quickly. Quicker than that, Corey. So we will be meeting again next week, Thursday. That's the 27th of October. And we'll be on to grouping 22. Grota song?
Grottosanger. We're officially halfway through the Poetic Edda.
Wow, I can't believe it. Say it one more time.
Grottosanger.
Grottosanger. Okay.
Song of Grotti.
Awesome. So meet us all back here next week, or if you got to catch it up on the YouTube, just remember it's usually up a couple days after. I think it's actually usually up the day after, but I always like to give Beast a couple days. And good night, Craig. Thanks for joining us, everybody live.
Bye, Craig.
And up.